Welcome back to another video with That's Awkward ASM. What is my intro? Wait a minute, did I just forget it? That's Awkward ASMR. Yeah, I do say that. I say with That's Awkward ASMR. But I'm Tatiana. Da-na-na-na. Today I'm going to be reviewing. I bought this game digitally. Honestly, I just couldn't go to game stores to pick one up, and I was impatient and wanted to play it the day it came out. Didn't want to wait for shipping, so I bought that one digitally. Do I regret it? Yes, because this is one of my most favorite games of all time. Yeah, it is. Spoiler. But before we even jump into this review, about 50% of you are not subscribed to...
Yeah, sorry
what?
To bother you.
Sorry?
It's more now. There's more.
It's more now?
Yeah, like 60%?
60?
Yeah, it's they're tired.
Mm-hmm.
It's not you. They're just falling asleep before they can press the subscribe button.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart literally shook me. Like, I got shooketh because I didn't expect this game to be this good. I knew it would be good. I really love what Insomniac does. I really enjoy the games they've been putting out. But as y'all know, I am a video game newbie. I know a lot about video games, and I've played a lot of video games, but not as many as most people by the time they're like 24 years old. Most people have played way more games than I have because I kind of got, like, they got a head start, okay? They got consoles and DS's and the GameCubes and the Xboxes, so I didn't experience a lot. So now I get to experience a ton of different games, and Ratchet and Clank is a series that I didn't get to experience. I've played a bit of the Ratchet and Clank 2016 game, which I think was based off this movie or something that came out, and I made a couple videos on it, and I really enjoyed what I had played of that game. I'd probably played about 50% of the game, I would say maybe a little more, because then I heard about this game coming out, and I was like, well, I'll play that one. And also, this one looked amazing. Like, literally amazing. Like, it literally looks amazing. We'll get into it. Some of the footage, I do want to let you know, some of the fur on the characters, like Rivet and Ratchet, the Lombaxes, it looks a little weird, and that's just because all my footage is from before they patched it. It doesn't look like that anymore. I will try to remember to put some of that new footage in so you can see what their hair looks like. It's probably going over me talking right now, so you can't see me doing this. Unless I let you see it. In that case, like, Tatiana, why'd you do me like that? Like, you did me dirty. Why'd you do me like that, editor Tatiana? That's rude and disrespectful. So let's jump into it. I don't have notes. I have this. I have little bullet points about what I want to talk about. So if I get scatterbrained, I apologize. This is just going to be me making awkward hand movements because I don't have a physical thing to tap on. First thing I want to talk about is the plot. I'm going to take you through the plot, and if you want to walk into this game and you want to play this game brand new, like you don't know anything about it, I 100% recommend you do not watch this video. I'm not going to go into deep spoilers because I want you to experience the story, but I'm kind of going to go over the gist of why things are happening, and I don't want you to get spoiled if you want to go in like blank slate, which is how I kind of went in. I feel like the title of this game should be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart made me feel like a kid again, because I literally like smiled to myself like a little child playing this game. I had so much fun. So let's jump into the plot. I've rambled enough. I'm rambling too much. The game opens with a really amazing shot of like a kind of a chase sequence. You got Rivet saving someone, and you kind of see like the way this world where Rivet is works, and you kind of get to see like this scene. First of all, is gorgeous. It looks amazing. Kind of gets you amped up that something is kind of brewing in this dimension, in this world where Rivet is. And then they do this really cool fade cut to Ratchet and Clank, who are at basically a celebration of all of the things that they've done, essentially all the things they've done in the past video games that you would have played through, just celebrating that they're cool heroes and they always win. And at the end of this, like, you're on a float, or not a float, but you like are supposed to be traveling as Ratchet and Clank down to this like main stage where Clank's gonna give Ratchet a present. But Dr. Nefarious has other plans and decides to steal the thing that Clank is going to give Ratchet as a gift, and it ends up exploding while they're battling and stuff like that, and everyone gets pushed into the dimension where Rivet lives, and they all kind of get separated. Dr. Nefarious is put where the Nefarious of his world would be. Ratchet is kind of just thrown off into this dark alley, and Clank is almost literally dropped into Rivet's lap. She finds him, picks him up, and is super suspicious because we find out in this world there's kind of this secret underground vibe, and she's like, who are you? What are you? And she picks him up to figure out what's going on because dimensions are being like opened up everywhere in the sky. And there is where our adventure begins. I kind of want to talk about character development next because honestly, I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with story. I'm not going to give you any more details. That's kind of the gist of the first like 20 minutes of the game. You can, everything else, you're going to figure it out. I'm not going to spoil it, but I really want to talk about character development because the stories were very, in my opinion, very like deep and very moving in some cases. Every character kind of is going through their own internal kind of like struggle, and every single character you meet is completely different. And that was really nice that they were having their own individual struggles as they're going through, their own stories and obstacles. I really cared about these characters by the end. Each and every one, from Clank, Rivet, Ratchet, another one that was not in any promos and I'm not going to spoil, but I love them, so check it out. If you've seen my videos, you probably know who it is, but I'm not going to say it in case you don't want to know. I'm not going to say it. All the characters are really filled out, and I really just enjoyed getting to know them. Rivet was a fantastic entry for a character that's brand new in a franchise, and the thing is, I haven't played all the games in the franchise, but I felt like they introduced her very well and very seamless. She didn't feel out of place. None of the characters that are introduced felt out of place at all. And I actually, at the end of the game, was like, I want to play more of these characters. Like, I want to see these characters continue on this adventure, and I want to just see them continue in like new installments. Like, I would love new games to kind of keep this formula of all these characters, and I had a good time. I really thoroughly enjoyed the way they wrote these characters. And yeah, I think all the character designs were gorgeous. The voice acting is phenomenal because sometimes they can write characters really well, but if you don't really care and the performance isn't great, like, maybe you won't care. But I cared a lot, so the performances were amazing, and I genuinely really love them. Like, they're my fam. They're my family. They're my dimensional family. Next thing I want to talk about, it's pretty obvious. You've seen clips so far. This game is gorgeous. Again, it really showcases just what the PS5 is capable of doing. It is an amazing representation of what the PlayStation 5 can do with the SSD. There is literally no loading, little to no loading. If there's loading, it's within a couple seconds ever. It's literally seamless. And when I say loading, I mean like traveling from planet to planet. That's the only loading that you get, but there's always something happening on screen, so you barely notice that it's actually loading the next world. It's pretty crazy. It is insane what this generation of consoles is capable of with regards to loading times and SSDs and graphics. It's just crazy. Blows me away. Ratchet and Clank is the most polished game I've played this year so far, just because I think it's the only one I've played made specifically and only for a current gen console, and you can feel it and you can tell. And I think that also made the experience so much better for me and so much more memorable because it was the first one that I personally, because I know there's other ones that have been made specifically for next gen consoles, both Xbox and PlayStation, but I just didn't play those games. So for me, this one felt even more special in that way. It was kind of, I feel like, my introduction to what next gen is truly, truly capable of. And the crazy thing is, Insomniac said Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is not even close to what they think they can do with games on the PS5 or on new hardware. And I think that's just crazy. And I'm just genuinely so excited to play more of it. I think the visuals literally are just so beautiful, and I feel like I can show you it, but I think unless you see it for yourself on your thing, on your TV, because we have compression going on YouTube, we got all kinds of stuff. By the time this thing gets uploaded to YouTube, like, it's been ripped off Twitch, put up on here, like, you don't get the full scope of just how good it looks. Next thing I want to talk about is the level and puzzle design. So level design was kind of easy to follow. It was pretty good flow. You always have markers on the map knowing where you are supposed to go. You're never really going to get like super lost. Finding all the little collectibles was super fun. And finding those things, you're never really lost. I was never so confused I couldn't find something. I specifically talking about collectibles, but following the story mission, you always know where you're supposed to go. I didn't get super lost as far as I remember. The puzzle part, there are puzzles you can do with Clank and there are puzzles you can do with a new character. And the Clank's puzzles were fine. They weren't too difficult, but they definitely did make me think and like, oh, how is this going to work? Involving these like orbs that power certain things or do certain things to kind of get through to the next level. Glitch though, this is actually something I have a bit of a critique with. Glitches puzzles were just super weird and confusing. You can walk on walls and on ceilings and that sounds really cool, but the problem is that the camera, like you kind of get motion sick. I don't really get motion sick when I play video games. I know some people can't handle Minecraft because they get motion sick. They can't handle first-person games, and I don't usually experience that, but with glitches puzzles I definitely experience that, like feeling like I'm getting turned around a lot because you have to very quickly kind of walk around, and sometimes even you do a spiral, kind of like going up one side and doing something on the ceiling, coming back down, and it just felt really confused. Not like, well, yeah, confusing. I got a little bit discombobulated, like I kind of didn't know where I was, and so that was a little frustrating with those puzzles. I didn't not like them. I definitely enjoyed them and enjoyed that aspect of the game. That was the only puzzles that were kind of weird. Otherwise, everything else was pretty good. The world puzzles were really fun. Figuring them out was really fun. The worlds and the planets that you visit in this game are so gorgeous. They're literally so beautiful. They're so diverse. You can go from a planet where there's like not a lot of gravity, and then you can like switch dimensions like on the same planet, so you're like going like through like there's one planet specifically where everything's kind of messed up in this one dimension, and you can flip over to a different dimension and everything's fixed and working and you can get into different areas. It was super cool. There's an underwater one. There's just like, I don't even know, I can't even remember. There's so many really cool planet designs, and within those planets there's like rift pockets that you can walk into. It's just so cool. It's kind of crazy and you should definitely give it a try. It is really fun. You know what else is really fun? The weapon design in this game is so fun. It is literally so fun. And this is kind of going to get into the DualSense, which is also something I want to talk about. So I'll talk about both. I'll talk about the DualSense and I will talk about the weapons, because there are so many options that you have. Like, I haven't even unlocked all of the weapons yet. Like, there's so many weapons you can unlock, so many upgrades for these weapons. There's like an upgrade tree in every single weapon that you can upgrade it more and more, where it can have more ammo, it can do more damage, it can, I don't know, shoot farther. It's like there's so many different mods that they call it mods, like you can put on your weapons. And it's so cool. They're all different. Some of them throw little blades, some of them turn them into like 16-bit characters. My favorite one was I think it's called the Equalizer. It's essentially like a double barrel shotgun, and this is where the DualSense will come in. So for example, with this double barrel shotgun thing called the Equalizer, it shoots out this huge like blast, and it's like a bit electrical, this blast that it can shoot out, and I found it to be really fun to use. That was like one of my favorite weapons in the game. I have a lot of weapons I really enjoyed, but that one was like my go-to just to quickly end a fight. On the DualSense, basically, if you have the trigger like this and you basically half press, you'll feel like a bit of a stop. You can't fully press down without feeling some resistance, so you would basically half press and then it would shoot one shot and then shoot all the way down, and then it shoots 2 shots out of the barrel. It's so interesting. It was so interesting. Another one, for if you want to throw different grenades, you would basically half press and then it kind of aims as you're half pressing, and then you'll feel it kind of stop at that half press, and then you press all the way down, you'll feel more resistance, and then you throw the grenade or whatever it is you're throwing. My favorite grenade, I think it's called the sprinkler. It literally just turns your enemies into like a flower bush and you just beat it up. I really like that one. I thought it was cool. You can freeze bosses with it. get that sprinkler. You gotta level that up because that is the best. You can freeze bosses with the sprinkler. They give you a weapon that can freeze bosses. It's amazing. So many cool weapons. So definitely unlock as many as you can. It's super fun to upgrade them. And yeah, that was just a super fun aspect of the gameplay, like deciding how I wanted to deal with the situation with which weapon, and it was just fun to use. And the DualSense, honestly, I thought it was going to be gimmicky when I got a PS5, but it actually does change the way playing video games feels. Like with this game specifically, it felt so different. Like I can't imagine playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart without the DualSense. There's so many different ways that they utilized it, not just really the vibration. Like on Astrobot, the vibration was, I found like the coolest thing. I felt like I could feel grass when I was walking, and that sounds so whack. Like that sounds so weird when you say it out loud. I could feel the grass, but like I'm telling you, I could feel the grass in the way it was vibrating in my hand with Astrobot. Whereas in this game, I didn't feel that vibration as much. Like every time I was walking, you could feel Ratchet walking, or Rivet, or whoever you're playing as. You could feel them walking, but it wasn't as apparent as it was, for example, in that game, which was made to, demo the full potential of a DualSense. One instance where you did feel it, you kind of walk in this place where there's loud music, and you could feel in the controller the beat. Like I could feel it while I was way outside of this place, so I knew I was getting closer because you could feel the like do do do, like the beat. And that was pretty cool. That was a really cool way that they utilized that feature, like the rumbling feature. I don't know if it's called rumble, but that feature of like the vibration where I could feel the beat, like if you were standing next to a really loud speaker and you could feel it in your chest. It simulated that experience really well. It is actually very immersive, and it's not gimmicky at all like I thought. It actually does change the way you experience this game, and I literally don't think I would have experienced it, Ratchet and Clank, the same without the DualSense. So yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed Ratchet and Clank. I have literally been rambling for a long time, and I don't know what else to say. This, from the story writing, character development, the voice acting, sound design is also gorgeous. I didn't talk about it, but everything sounds amazing. Honestly, it's just so immersive. Like you can hear every footstep, you can feel every footstep in the DualSense. It's just so much fun. I think it's just so much fun. Like while I was playing it, I remember like feeling, and I don't know if I said it to chat when I played it, because I played it the first time fully on Twitch. Like I just thought, I'm having so much fun, and just smiling to myself because I was having so much fun. So yeah, I definitely recommend this game. Love this game. I love this game. It's definitely on my top games of my top games of all time list. It's a big list. It's getting bigger all the time. Anything negative to say? I can't really think about it because they've patched anything that was wrong. For example, when I first played, there was some issues with when you would press certain, like when you would fire sometimes, the weapon didn't register until a second later. Like there was a latency issue. They patched that out the first week, so I didn't experience that anymore when I've played since. The fur thing I explained, where like on the edges of their fur on their face looked weird, that's been patched out and it looks fine now. I think people had other bugs. Those were the only two things I really experienced that didn't even bother me that much. I just loved playing the game. Like I loved playing it. I still love playing it. So yeah, I don't really have anything negative. They patched out anything that I could have said I experienced that was negative, so it's not even there anymore. They have different fidelity modes that you can use. So you can have 4K with ray tracing, or you can have 1080 with ray tracing, or you can have no ray tracing and 30, something like that. I don't really remember, but there's different fidelity modes you can use based on your setup. And there's also, I appreciated a lot of different modes for like easy, medium, hard. They don't call them easy, medium, hard, which I thought was really cool. They called them like hero, hunter. I don't know. They were like all different names, but they represent different difficulty levels, and I really appreciated that they had more than just 3. They had like 5 different levels that you could use, because I think it's important for people to be able to play games at all different difficulty levels for accessibility. I appreciate it. I know there's been a lot of debate for some reason online about if you play on those modes, you didn't actually play the game, which is so weird. Like, yes, they played, like, people can play on any level. You want to go really hard and challenge yourself, go for it. You want to just, I usually go medium just to enjoy the story and the gameplay. That's how I like to play. And then there's people, maybe they don't play games all the time, or they're not that confident, but they want to experience the game. Let them play on the more chill modes. Like, everything's fine. It's just, I thought that was super weird. That's weird to me. I don't know. Like, I didn't even understand why it was a debate, because I was like, people are really triggered other people want to play games, because that's basically what you're mad at. You're mad they want to play games because they just want to play it at their own pace, man. Some people, have different, like, everyone's different. Everyone has different, I don't know. It made me upset. So I wanted to say something. If you think it's weird that people play games on easy, you're the one being weird. It's normal and it's fine. Anyway, enough. I'm not gonna rant. I'm gonna go to bed because it is almost 5 a.m. and I've been ranting about this game for long enough. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy the game if you do play it. If you do play it, or you're planning on playing it, or you have played it, let me know down below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this game. And I think that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want more gaming review videos, because I really like doing them. I hope that you enjoyed, and as always, I hope that you have sweet, sweet dreams of gaming.